Welcome back, everybody, to the Chris Salcedo Show. As the days go on, more and more evidence about the Biden family bribery scheme is coming out. New records show an additional $20 million going to the Biden family, Tide Ventures, though one would be hard-pressed to call them businesses. And these payments came from Russia, Ukraine, and Kazakhstan when the big guy was vice president. This comes after former Hunter Biden associate Devin Archer testified and said that Joe Biden was communicating with Hunter's business associates, identifying Joe Biden as the brand. It's now bringing the man who has been uncovering all of this against the efforts of the Democrats and the biased press, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Congressman, it's been an awful long time, sir. It's great to have you back. You made some news by saying that the Biden family will be subpoenaed to appear before your committee. Do you want to talk about, when that might happen, and who do you want to talk to?
Well, we have a few more associates to talk to. We're trying to get a few more of the shell company bank records. Once we do that, I think we've made the case. I think we've already made the case now, but it's only going to be a stronger case that we need to see Biden bank records. They're going to be given an opportunity to be transparent with the American people. Remember, Joe Biden said he was going to be the most transparent president in the history of the United States. And Joe Biden was cheering the Democrats all along the way when they released Donald Trump's tax return. So all we want to see are some bank records that we think could answer some questions we have as to whether or not Joe Biden was a direct beneficiary of some of these shady payments from foreign nationals that went to at least 9 of his family members. So that's the path we're going. We've built a case that can win in court. If it was easy to get a president in front of a congressional committee, I think the Democrats would have had Trump in front of at least the January 6th committee, if not in front of the 2 judiciary impeachment hearings. It's very difficult to get a sitting president of the United States in front of a committee, but we certainly want to try to get the bank records. We want to try to get Biden family members to come in front of the committee and answer questions. So that's what we're doing.
Well,
we're putting together a case, and I think we've done that.
Well, your work has been getting some coverage, like on places like Newsmax and among conservative media, but everybody else is trying to ignore it, all the so-called mainstream press. But they're not really mainstream. They're left-wing. No connection, they say. None of the stuff you're uncovering has any connection whatsoever to Joe Biden himself. Congressman, you've provided bank records, text messages, emails, but what more can be done? And what are you doing to show the people that all this leads to the big guy? As you said, it could stand up in a court of law, and I think a lot of conservatives are worrying that this is all going to be covered up to the degree, or that Joe Biden has covered his tracks to a degree to where he'll never be found out. Are you confident that he will be?
Well, 63% of Americans, according to a Rasmussen poll, are keeping up with our investigation and believe that we should continue the investigation because they believe something bad has happened with respect to public corruption within the White House. So we're going to continue to press forward, even though a lot of the mainstream media outlets aren't covering this. People are getting information from somewhere because everywhere I go in every state, people come up to me and thank me for the work we're doing. We're going to continue to provide the American people with the truth, and that's what people want. They want the truth. Did Joe Biden take bribes? They know his family did all sorts of shady things. In fact, most people know his family has violated many, many laws, and that's why the judge in Delaware kicked out that DOJ sweetheart plea bargain deal. I think the American people see that the Department of Justice, FBI, the IRS, Secret Service, the Democrats in Congress have all obstructed our investigation, but they realize that, wait a minute, the Biden family received over $20 million from our enemies around the world. What did they do to receive the money? And what we heard Devin Archer say in a transcribed interview was they sold access to Joe Biden. Well, that's a crime. That's wrong. That means there's a pay-to-play scheme in the White House. That's something we've suspected a long time, but we put together the evidence. Remember, when this investigation started, the media said, well, Joe Biden's family never took any money from China. Joe Biden's family never got any of that money while he was vice president, and that Joe Biden never talked to anyone who sent the family those wires. We've proven all 3 of those things to be big, bold-faced lies by Joe Biden. So Joe Biden hasn't been truthful with the American people. They see that. They want to know more. Why has he lied about it? And that's what we're trying to do. Everything is building towards trying to get the final piece of the puzzle, and that is the Biden bank records. The bank records that we've gotten thus far were from the shell companies, and the shell companies showed the wire from the foreign countries to the Bidens. We want to know where they went once they got to the president's son. Did he have an arrow pointing to Joe Biden? The emails and text messages show that he complained about having to pay for things for his father, and that's where we're going next.
Okay. All right, Congressman. So now, on this idea of impeachment, you know the GOP isn't united on holding Democrats accountable. Impeachment, as you know, is mostly political. It's not legal. Republicans like Cheney, Kinzinger, and Mitch McConnell, they all are showing support for Joe Biden. President Trump told Eric Bolling last night Biden needs to be impeached. Congressman, with thought leaders in the GOP like 18 senators who fully funded all of the government corruption that we've been seeing, all the Democrats' priority spending through that tragic omnibus, with 20 House Republicans who voted to protect a guy like Adam Schiff, as you know, who is a stone-cold liar. Can you understand why GOP voters don't believe the GOP is actually an opposition party to Democrats?
Well, there are some members of our party that obviously don't want to impeach. They're sending the signal to the members in the House that are in swing districts that, look, this is going to go nowhere in the Senate, and that's unfortunate. I believe that people should be held accountable. At the end of our investigation, I can assure the American people there are going to be criminal referrals. We need to get a Republican administration. We need a new attorney general that will uphold the Constitution and treat everyone equally under the law. We don't have that now. So I think that from our work on the Oversight Committee, we're going to continue to try to get answers for the American people and to get the truth. Look, I'd vote for impeachment right now. I don't have to think twice about that. I've already seen enough public corruption that makes me fear for the future of our country. I mean, our president has taken millions, his family's taken millions and millions of dollars from some of the worst people on the planet. Every one of them is either in jail in their country or on the flee from being incarcerated in their own country, where they wired the money to the Biden shell companies. The bank said the Bidens were laundering money. I mean, the breaking the tax evasion laws, breaking the Foreign Agents Registration Act, money laundering, racketeering. I mean, the list goes on and on of very serious crimes that this family's committed, and they expect us to think Joe Biden didn't have any knowledge of it. There's emails and text messages where Hunter Biden complains about having to give his father such a high percentage of his income. So you know, the wrongdoing is there in plain sight. But you know, we're going to continue to get more bank records and bring more people in for depositions, and we're going to try to win in court when we subpoena for the Biden personal bank records.
CNN and the Fox News Morning Show says, "Oh, there's nothing to see here. Show us the crime." Okay, Congressman Comer, we hope that comes to fruition, sir. Thank you very much.